In the last video, we shared that the next year will change our lives forever. And we weren't kidding. We're here in northern Thailand in a city of Chiang Mai, and we're devoting this next year of our lives to studying emergency self-defense. And from the comments, it was clear that we struck a chord. But you know what? We're running a bit late for our session today. So, Sarah, get your top on. We're heading to the emergency self-defense course.
You're excited for us, and many of you are wondering whether this could be an option for you. But your questions in response to the last video demonstrate that you could be thinking this is far too extreme an option for you on many different levels.
Therefore, in this video, we're going to give you the full lowdown. And at the end of the video, we're going to tell you what's scaring us most about this massive decision we've made for our year ahead. But you know what, Sarah? What's scaring me most at the moment is this storm. We need to get inside. The thunder and lightning has started. Have we told you that it's rainy season here in Chiang Mai? Also, our trainer, if you get there late, we force you to do burpees. Come on, let's go. So we've just finished our session. Everyone's gone. Just the people who are really into it are still here, and me and Sarah. So Sakhan's our trainer. He's going to take me and Sarah through a couple of drills, but after that, we're going to show you how it's properly done if you know what you're doing with someone a bit like Wes. That's the class finish for today, and you can see we are very much beginners at all this. Sarah's just popped off to get us both a refreshing drink, because that's what we need more than anything. But what we wanted to do is just address a lot of the questions that you've sent in via the comments on last week's video. One thing that I just want to say off the bat before we go into any detail here is the service we're using for this is called Core Combat. This is their logo here, but got to tell you, we are not sponsored. We have no relationship with them at all. They didn't give us a discount if we talk about their program or anything like that. This is basically Sarah and I have come to Chiang Mai to do this. We found this place and we're enjoying the experience, and they're really good people. Right, what have you got, Sarah?
I've got 2 lemonades. Cheers.
Cheers.
You need this.
So we've broken this into 4 areas, and I'm going to be looking down because this is where the questions are. The first area is self-defense training itself, and questions from Laurie Thornton, Marianne Racine, Tony Curtis and Mr. Louis. First of all, what's the training is what people want to know. So it's basically core combat, which includes street smarts, being preemptive, traditional martial arts, self-defense using a combination of disciplines and combatives, and basic positions, strikes, kicks and grapples. That's the sort of thing we're getting involved in, and we're starting to learn a little bit about it. So around the training itself, there is a time commitment to this, and the training takes place twice a week, and each training course is 2 hours long. So it's a fairly intense course we're doing. First of all, question was, did we have an issue with personal safety concerns before coming to Thailand or in Thailand? Not particularly. There's nowhere we've been in the world so far that's led us to think that we need to be careful. But what we have learned is you need to be aware of your surroundings. Yeah. So where we are at the moment, in fact, looking around us, you know, we're sat in the middle of the street, expensive cameras out, videoing what we're doing. This isn't necessarily what I would call street smart.
Smart.
But the one thing is, we know where we are. So we've got that level of confidence. But we're looking at this as a long-term thing. We're going to be travelling the world for 10 years, and we will hopefully be living longer than that. We're going to be going into situations on a regular basis with people and cultures that we simply don't know, and being aware of our capability and what we're learning about the situations you see around you can only help.
Yeah.
So someone said that our trainer looks intense. Sakan does look intense.
He knows his stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I said to him just a couple of minutes ago, someone's just said that our trainer looks intense, and he said, I am intense. I'm a Scorpio. So he's got a sting in his tail as well.
Yeah.
I would say about,
Lovely guy, I have to say.
Yeah.
Lovely guy, but I wouldn't want to fight him.
for what Sakan does for a living, he's got no choice but to be intense. He's teaching us, and if there's anything we can glean from him, then he's got to start at a high level. So intensity is a big part of what Sakan is doing and what he's teaching, and that's only a good thing. But Sarah says, lovely bloke.
Yeah.
Just don't get in a fight with him. That's what I would advise. So we had a really interesting statement made, and that is, well, talk is cheap. We'll see. Good point.
Do they know us too well? Do they know us?
No, it sounds like they do. Yeah, talk might be cheap, but this training isn't cheap, is it, Sarah?
No, it's just over $1,500 for the training, and that actually includes the visa as well. So we personally think that's a really good value for what we're getting. And because the training is, as Neil said, it's twice a week for 2 hours. So that's 4 hours a week, plus the visa for 12 months. So,
yeah, so
there are other options available. I believe there's a 3-month, a 9-month, and a 12-month, and that cost will probably come down for those other two shorter time frames.
And that's just over $1,500 each. That's not for both of us. And another question in this same area about the self-defence training is, will the training provide us with a sustainable way to live and travel with wellness? Really, really good question, actually.
Yep.
And my answer to that is absolutely yes, because we have different trainers through the week that do this with us. And from a wellness perspective, we have a trainer that specialises very much in the yoga aspects. So we're getting stretching,
real flexibility. It's really intense.
Yeah, and it's important to note that this self-defence training isn't teaching us how to fight. It's not that at all. It's actually teaching us how not to fight. And it's teaching us how to be at one with ourselves and with a situation. And it is certainly giving me a much broader understanding of the world and of our own capabilities.
Yeah, and I think from the confidence side as well, it's giving us that confidence to be out there and just be completely aware of your situation, and confidence knowing that if anything should arise, you potentially will remember what you've learned.
Hopefully.
That's the challenge.
We'll see. So the next thing, or the next category area, is that we said in the last video that we are potentially going to go alcohol-free and meat-free. People who asked the questions in this category was Dardin Soto, hey Dardin, and Ripple, who is a smirky dog, and Bailey 1875. A note here, Sarah, I'm guessing Bailey 1875 is extremely healthy, because normally when people have a date at the end of their name, it's normally a birthday. So comes back to the self-defence. If you're alcohol-free, you're not going to go to nightclubs and put yourself in positions where you may need to invoke your self-defence training. The meat-free aspect.
We've talked about this for, well, many years really, and certainly when we started travelling, this was something that came to the forefront as far as, do we actually need meat in our diets? Yeah,
and before we started travelling, I would say the 5 years before we started travelling, by osmosis, we were slowly reducing our meat intake. We didn't even converse about it.
No.
And it got to a point where we were eating meat probably twice a week.
I think actually when we were really in our last phase before we sold our house, it was a cost perspective as well. As soon as you go shopping for groceries and include meat, your bill goes up considerably. And I think when we were really trying to be frugal, we just went vegetarian. It's so much cheaper. We
don't know where we're going to go with it, but what we're looking at is making incremental improvements in what we know and what we do in this life and world of ours. Someone said, are we being serious?
Well, they obviously know us too well as well.
Yeah, but I'd say
we're being serious.
We're being really serious, because although having a beer is a great thing. It's a wonderful thing to do, and I'm already drinking.
Especially in the heat, there's nothing better than a cold beer.
Whether we get to a point at the end of this year where we're alcohol-free, I don't know. But will we be alcohol fewer intakes than we're doing at the moment? Probably. Keep watching and you'll find out.
I can see some of our friends back in the UK absolutely horrified by that statement, because we are known for going out having a nice drink with them. So don't worry.
Going to lose a lot of friends if we do that. So the next section was about Chiang Mai itself. And Chiang Mai, just to note, where we recorded last week's video, it was on the beaches of southern Thailand. Chiang Mai is in northern Thailand,
in the mountains,
landlocked in the mountains. The questions came in here from Alex Sumbati, Debbie Stegel, Ian Smith, Marie-Eve Racine, and Tony Curtis. So first of all, Sarah, someone asked what our living situation is in Chiang Mai.
So when we first arrived in Chiang Mai, we booked an Airbnb for a month, just because we hadn't been here before and we needed to make sure this was somewhere we liked. We decided we were going to stay here. We moved into an apartment. So that process involved registering with a real estate person, and she actually took us out for a day and took us to probably about 10 different apartments in the area we were looking for. So then we made our decision to go for the one we've gone to.
Yeah, which is lovely. It's got a pool, it's got a gym, it's got a roof garden, lovely. So then moving on, a number of questions came in around, why would you choose Chiang Mai of all places? Because isn't that humid? And then what about the heat and humidity? Another one, heat and humidity. Is it an issue?
It's hot and it's humid.
And it's humid.
No getting away from that.
No. But we've found that in the time we've been here, we have become more and more acclimatised to it. It's really not an issue. And as we said, I think in that last video, Chiang Mai is a place that we feel that it's a place people come to reinvent themselves. So this is absolutely, for us, the right place to do it. Right, the biggie. This is the question that everyone wants to know the answer to. The visa side. So we've had questions here from Billy Bob, Dawn Kirshner, Daryl Smith, M.L. Summers, Jimmy Floyd 1000, Craig Ackerman, Marie-Eve Racine. Marie-Eve, you've asked a lot of questions here. Isabel Bernard, Matthew Folger, Dickie B, and Subaru for me. They've asked things like, are we changing from our tourist visa to a retirement visa? Are we going for an education visa? Are we doing border runs? Did we use an agent? So I'll pick off the first couple and you take the last couple. Have we changed our visa to a retirement visa? Well, no. We came here on a tourist visa, which gave us...
We did the 60 days.
Yeah, 2 months.
Yeah, so you can just come into the country on a 30-day tourist and then renew. But we actually up front did the 60-day visa with a possibility of renewing for another 30 days.
Yeah, so we came in and we found out about this. If you want to know how we found out, check back on last week's video. We knew it was something we wanted to do. And it comes with a 1-year emergency self-defence visa. That's the visa. And it comes with other benefits as well, such as with the retirement visa, you need to have a set amount of funds in a Thai bank account. I don't have an issue with having funds in any bank account, but what I do have an issue with is taking money out of the market so that money's not working for us. So it's a significant amount of money.
And it has to stay in that account, doesn't it? So you can't spend it.
You can't show it and then pull it out and then show it again. It's got to stay there for the year that you're in Thailand. So that wasn't attractive to us at the time. There's no financial requirement at all. There's no financial reporting. You don't have to show that you've got enough money to be in Thailand. And then, basically, you have to do 90-day reporting. And that is, you've got a 1-year visa, but every 90 days you just have to report in to say, yeah, we're still here in Chiang Mai. So next, did we use an agent? Now, this is a really, really good and important question, because we thought about this before we think about it everywhere we go, to be honest. If you see everything's just gone dark, power's just gone.
Power's just gone.
We're on battery. Everything's good. This is a concern because you're in a foreign land with foreign language, lots of rules and regulations. So, Sarah, did we use an agent? And is our agent any good?
As part of Core Combat, the facility there with one of their staff who's an absolute expert in the visas. So initially there's a 30-minute consultation where they want to check your passport, make sure you're eligible. There's various bits of paperwork that they'll help you get if you haven't got them already, and one of those is your TM6, which is your entry into Thailand. It's actually in your passport. And then a TM30, which is proof that you've got accommodation here.
Yeah.
So that comes from your landlord, and they'll help you get that.
But she is exceptional. If you're concerned, if you're like me, I'm the kind of person that thinks people don't do things quickly enough. I need to get this stuff done.
Yeah.
She's
a machine.
You'll be letting her down. It won't be the other way around. But at the start of this video, we said that at the end, we'll tell you what scares us more than anything about what we're doing in this year in doing the core combat stuff. First of all, a lot of the people up there seem very experienced. The next thing is a fear that we're not fit enough. And that's a real concern for us, to be honest, because we're the oldest on this course. And on today's session, in just a warm-up, about 2/3 of the way through, I had to bow out.
It's intense, and if you're not used to that exercise that intense straight away, it is a real struggle.
Yeah. It's not your standard warm-up. This is like...
So you've got to listen to your body, and that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
There's no point trying to get through it.
No. And another worry that I think about is basically us hurting ourselves. So today Sarah's got some
I've got a big lump on my knee. It's going to be a nice bruise there, I'm sure.
Yeah, so we're going to get ice on that when we get back. And we're not just playing at it up there. This is intensive stuff. So, as Sarah said a minute ago, we have to learn about our own bodies and not make any big mistakes that could mean that we're going to be put out for a while.
But we feel as though we're a bit of the weakest link and feel as though we're holding people back. Yeah. So that's a concern. But today's session was good. And the main thing, this feels like a daunting commitment that we've made. We've signed up for a year, and we've just got to really get absorbed into it. We are committed, but on the other hand, that is a daunting prospect.
Anything you take on in life, when you start it, you're rubbish, you're awful at it, and that can be really disheartening. But when you're doing something like this, it feels worse. It's more so, really, more disheartening, because simply there's a lot in this core combat which is almost like a dance. You're having to learn moves and control moves and various grapples and so on, and it will look like, oh, okay, they're just grabbing it. There's real skill to what's happening. And when you're starting off, it's like, oh, I'm never going to get this. It's really easy to be disenchanted by stuff like that.
The thing is, if this was easy, it wouldn't be worth doing. Where would the stretch be in that?
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be really interesting to see where we are a year from now. It's going to be fun for us to look back at this video to see these fears and go, oh, those young, immature pair, as we grapple with each other in a way that we never knew we could. But at the moment, we do feel like fish out of water. And actually, while we're doing a lot of the exercises, I'm breathing like a fish out of water as well. So we've hit you with a lot. What do you think about the visa situation and the costs? And talking about costs, finance is a big part of our journey and what we need to manage in our early retirement. And I tell you what, next week's video is all about finance, and we're showing you something that is pretty epic. It's taken so much work for us to do. We really hope you're going to enjoy that. In the meantime, if you want to know how we got to this point in life where we've retired in our early 50s to go beating each other up on a core combat course, then you want to be watching this video. This spills the beans basically on everything that we did wrong as we led to early retirement.